Alright guys, it's time for my Mafia the Old Country review. Ooh, this one was rough, man. I wanted it to end about 6 hours in, and the game's only about 15 hours. So yeah, that should already tell you everything you need to know about this game, but let's get into it. Mafia the Old Country is a third-person, linear, narrative-driven game set in Sicily, Italy in the early 1900s and follows Enzo Favara, a Caruso who becomes embroiled in the rise and fall of the Teresi crime family. Yeah, so that's the basis of the story, and this is the fourth main entry of the Mafia franchise and the prequel to the series, which takes place decades before the events of the first game. It was developed by Hangar 13 and published by 2K Games. And Hangar 13 only has a few games under their belt so far, including Mafia 3, Mafia Definitive Edition, Top Spin K25, and now Mafia the Old Country, so that track record of games is not very promising. And this game was made on the Unreal 5 engine, which means you already know to expect a few things. You know, the game world's gonna have little to no interactivity and you won't be able to shoot dead bodies. And that's exactly what you get here in this game. Another Unreal 5 slopfest where it looks amazing on the surface but has zero substance. And I don't want to spoil too much of the story for you guys, but it's not very interesting to say the least. There's just nothing here that you haven't already seen, done a lot better in other movies and games many times over. I mean, the story's just boring and bland. It's basically like Romeo and Juliet meets a really shitty version of the Godfather movie. And let me ask you guys something. Ever since the Godfather movie came out, why does almost every mobster mafia story have to have the Don talk like his mouth is full and he's about to stroke out? I just can't take any more shitty renditions of Marlon Brando, so please stop it. Get some help. So yeah, by the halfway point of the game, I just wanted it to end. I didn't care about the characters really, and there are only a couple of characters that make appearances in this game from the other Mafia games. And even then, they don't play big roles. It's more like, oh hey, there's that guy, and that's if you even remember him. Just an overall bland, boring movie experience. So let's talk about the good aspects of the gameplay. Once you get the hang of the controls, the driving can actually be pretty fun. I mean, I really enjoyed drifting around the corners with my early 1900s rocket car, barely missing rocks, or sometimes not. And you can also give your character different perks by attaching charms that you find throughout the world. And these charms range from more ammo, to better knife skills, to having silent footsteps. I mean, you can choose what perks to give your character based on your playstyle, so that's pretty cool. But other than that, that's pretty much all I gotta say about the good aspects of the gameplay. So let's move on to the bad aspects of the gameplay. Oh, where to begin with the bad? I hated most of this game, so let's just get into it. The combat is atrocious. So I usually try to turn aim assist off in games like this, but everything about shooting was so damn frustrating that I just turned it back on. I mean, when I had it off, it still felt like something was magnetizing my aim. It's hard to explain, but when it was off, I would just shoot left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right of the person and couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, boys. Now, I'm not claiming to be the best player in the world, but I can definitely hit a broadside of a barn. So because of this, I just turned aim assist back on. But then the game feels like you're just using Call of Duty cheats to play. I mean, you don't even have to aim. You just hold left trigger and it lines up the shot for you, and then you shoot, and then repeat. And actually, if you do try to aim yourself, you'll pull away or to the side of the enemy as you work against the aim assist, so you learn to just stop using your right stick altogether. I mean, it's pretty pathetic, but more importantly, makes the few actual gameplay aspects of this game such a bore to play through. And not to mention, this game takes place in the early 1900s, so, you know, the weapons are terrible and boring to use. You have a few basic shotguns, pistols, rifles, and grenades. And they all work the same because of what I said about the aim assist, so it really doesn't matter what you use. And there's also knife battles for a few bosses, but they're also very boring and lackluster. I mean, you just spam an attack and dodge if they attack you. Pretty straightforward and boring as hell. So yeah, there's only a few actual gameplay aspects to this game. I mean, you drive your car from mission to mission even though you don't have to. You can just straight up skip the driving parts and go directly from mission to mission, taking even more of the actual gameplay away from the player. You get linear combat spots, very akin to something out of Uncharted 1, where you have a cutscene, you go into a room with a bunch of cover, enemies come out, you kill them, then go through the crack in the wall loading screen, into a cutscene, rinse and repeat. And then you get the knife battles. And that's it for gameplay. You can drive around the semi-open world in between a few missions, but other than that, this is the game. There's nothing to it, and what is there is a complete bore fest. And you could maybe stomach it if the story was halfway decent, but it's not. The story is just as boring and bland as the gameplay, which makes you want to turn the damn game off 6 hours in. And it's only like a 15-hour game. I mean, that's just sad. And it's also a one and done. So there's no other game modes to play or anything else to do except watch that 15-hour bore fest of a movie again. So to summarize the gameplay, for what little gameplay there is in this game, it's pretty much all bad. The only enjoyment I could find was with the driving, and even that isn't very good. I was just so damn bored that I actually started enjoying drifting my old cars around old Sicily. And the combat is so damn boring and brain dead that it just makes you want to turn the game off and play something else. I mean, there's just nothing to like about it, there's nothing new about it, and it does nothing to complement the shitty B-tier movie they have going on in between the rest of the garbage. To put it simply, there's just no fun to be had here at all. None. The entire point of a game is to be fun, and fun is the last word I'd use to describe this game. Alright, so moving on to the good aspects of the visuals. If you have a top-of-the-line PC rig, this game could look absolutely amazing and lifelike on the surface. I mean, there are times when the game looks like a real movie, especially during the cutscenes. And that's it for the good. Let's move on to the bad aspects of the visuals. I personally had graphical issues with this game my entire playthrough. I mean, I spent the first 3 hours of this game just trying to dial in the graphics to not look like a blurry, stuttering mess. And for perspective, I don't have a great PC, but it isn't ancient. I have an Nvidia RTX 4060 graphics card, 32 gigs of RAM, a solid-state drive, and an i7 6700K processor. Now my processor is a bit old, but still very serviceable, so I shouldn't have had the problems that I was having graphically. But this game just looked and played like an unoptimized mess. There was always a constant stutter from start to finish of this game, especially when in the cities, and this game forces you to use some form of ray tracing, which made the game look like a blurry mess most of the time. I mean, the shadows looked terrible, and every camera cut had textures popping in and out that really took you out of the moment. I finally had enough of messing around with it and just turned everything down, which was still terrible. I couldn't fix it, but maybe it was just a me problem here. I tried to look it up and it seemed like a few others were having these problems as well, but I also saw people saying that it was looking and playing perfectly for them, so I really don't know. Depends on your rig, I guess, but if you have specs like mine, expect garbage. So to summarize the visuals, the game was a blurry, stuttering, unoptimized mess, all made possible with the Unreal 5 engine, boys. I mean, it stuttered to the point of being unplayable at times, and not being able to interact with anything in the world due to the Unreal 5 engine really kills anything good that this game had going for it. So let's move on to the good aspects of the sound. Besides the Don's terrible Marlon Brando impersonation, I got stuff in my mouth and I'm about to struggle. Ugh. That's how I feel about it. Ugh. When I hear it. Ugh.
It is binding. It is not forgiving. To betray one is to betray all. Do you wish to commit yourself, your life, to this family?
But other than that, the rest of the voice actors did a good job in this game. The accents seemed real and authentic for the most part, and it came across like they at least cared and tried their best. I appreciated the effort even if the story was a complete bore fest. And the music was pretty serviceable, but not memorable. I don't remember any of the music from the game, but in the moment, it does its job to fit the setting. Alright, now let's talk about the bad aspects of the sound. Sound effects, such as gunshots and cars, weren't the best. It might have just been the sound optimization all around, but things would be too loud or too soft at weird moments. And when you are having a conversation with someone, if you're not looking directly at them, then you can't hear a damn thing they're saying. So you could be 6 inches away from them. But if you turn your fucking back on them, boys, it goes completely silent. I'm talking completely silent. So if you don't have subtitles on, you won't know anything that the other person is saying. And that annoyed the shit out of me my entire playthrough.
I'll try to find a ledger for you, senor.
So to summarize the sound, Most of the voice actors did a great job in their roles, but other than that, the sound in this game is an unoptimized mess. The voice levels are so bad that it starts to drive you insane having to be smelling someone's neck in order to hear what the fuck they're saying. And don't get me started on the wanna be Marlon Brando. Yikes. Ugh.
I want to thank you all for coming out here today. We got a serious situation down in the Bronx. Our friend needs to get a message to the short man in the hat. He needs to deliver this message before the construction site contracts are handed down. It's of vital importance that these matters be attended to, so we may have to bring in our friend from Yonkers.
What?
I say we may have to bring in our friend from Yonkers!
Alright, so let's move on to my final thoughts of Mafia the Old Country. You know, I actually enjoyed Mafia 1 and 2 back in the day when they were originally released, and I was looking forward to playing this prequel to learn more about the overall story. But sadly, this game fails to deliver on anything that it's trying to do. I mean, there were a couple returning characters from the original franchise, but nothing important to add to them. The gameplay aspects of this game are all very basic, bland, and boring. You just want to rush through them to get to the next part of the shitty B-tier Godfather movie. I mean, the story is a boring Romeo meets Juliet mixed with B-tier Godfather retelling starring an over-the-top Marlon Brando impersonator. And the game looked and played like an unoptimized mess and sounded like one too. There just wasn't anything to like here at all, boys. Nothing. So, should you buy this game? No! Absolutely not. Do not buy this game. This game is not worth $50. Hell, it's not worth $5. Just watch the 20-minute cutscene movie on YouTube if you must, and keep it moving. This game, or movie I should say, was just a total disaster. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about Mafia the Old Country. It was a terrible experience. I hated every second of it. I'm just glad it's over. I'm ready to move on, but unfortunately for me, I gotta go straight into Madden. This is one thing after the other. Ugh. But anyways, guys, let me know down below what you guys thought of this game, if you've played it, or if you're gonna play it. Please tell me you're not gonna play it. Did you guys already know it was gonna be bad before it came out? I figured it was going to be. Nothing looked good on it. It looked like, you know, your typical movie game. And that's exactly what I got. But anyways, guys, I'm getting out of here. Till next time, peace!